Ruzicka, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
Well, I'm doing just fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Now, look, I got my glasses today because I'm old. I can't read without it. But in honor of you, I'm not wearing my gay glasses today. So I
I'm
just
so
want to, I'm going
glad
to
to
put
hear
them
that.
aside and we're not going there.
You are so funny.
How are you, young lady?
I'm doing well.
What session is this for you?
Well, I was thinking about that the other day, and I started. The first time I came up here was 1988, but it wasn't. It was just after the session. It was during interim that I came up here in 1988 because I just moved here. I moved here in 1988 and came up here.
So was it one thing, like there was something that you just couldn't believe this is happening and that was it? I'm going to throw myself into the legislative process? Or?
Well, I was already involved with Eagle Forum. It's a national organization. I moved here from Arizona and was doing Eagle Forum in Arizona. So it was just natural. I wasn't the Eagle Forum president when I came up here.
Joy Beach?
Nope,
No?
never Joy Beach with us. It was Dorothea Masur is her name. She was actually a legislator up here.
And she was a masseur too, which is interesting. Probably not.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't work.
So are they, just from your time in Arizona and here, are the people, I don't want to ask this in a sarcastic way, but are they more moral in Utah or Arizona?
You know, about the same.
About the same, huh?
Good people both places.
Right.
We had an interesting experience in Arizona because we had a governor, and his name was Evan Meekum, and they were trying to impeach him.
They got impeached, didn't they?
Yeah, and he was a really, really good man. But so we always had those things we were involved in there, and we're involved here. I used to live in Idaho. I was involved in Idaho.
So is there, like, on your agenda, do you have a really active organization? I mean, there's just people up here all the time. You have clout. You knit famously up in the gallery and watch the votes and sometimes scorn down at senators. Never me, I might add.
Never.
I've never got a scorn from you.
No, you don't.
So how does it?
Because I already know ahead of time you're going to vote against me, so why do I care?
Exactly.
No, sometimes we agree. We like to agree.
And there are times when it's only the two of us, frankly.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world is immoral.
That's right. That's right.
So let me ask you a little. Start with. Well, before I ask you the controversial stuff, I want to say why I have such terrific respect for you.
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
Even though you're wrong on pretty much everything, but not so much.
Interesting. I always said just the opposite.
And that is this, if we were to go around this Senate cafeteria here, there's all good people. I'm not castigating people. I don't judge people. I don't. But there's a lot of people who are up here for the bucks. And they have little tags that say they're a lobbyist, and they are here, and you give them $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000, and they will say whatever you want them to say, whatever you're paying for. They'll take whatever side of the argument there is. It's not like that with you. You are, during all these years, you passionately believe in what you're doing, and you're not up here to make a buck. You really believe it, and I think the whole process would be so much better if other people who are up here for passion and not like paid tomatoms would be involved in the system.
Well, there's a place for both. You know, businesses have a right, but for me, I wouldn't do this for pay because they couldn't pay me enough for the hours that I work and for the things that I do. This is what I care about. I passionately care about this, and I just have never gotten paid.
And you put up a lot of crap too, don't you? And you have over the years. I mean, you more than almost anybody up here have been the subject of abuse and ridicule and scorn and a lot of...
See, I can't answer that question, yes, because my children would be very upset because they're not allowed to say that word.
Crap?
Yeah, can't say
Sorry.
And if they were watching this, they'd say, Mom, that's how they do this. They're older, but they still say, Mom, he said a bad word.
What should I use?
Garbage.
Garbage. Okay, the garbage. But my point is, I've seen it. You do put up with a lot that a lot of people would just walk away and say, I'm not there. And I admire you for that. You believe in this now. So take that.
I've lasted so long up here because I don't take it personal and because if people disagree with me, they can still be my friend. So, and I wouldn't survive if I didn't feel that way. I wouldn't have lasted very long. Nobody would. You have to come up here and you have to care about people and be nice to everybody, and then you can come back next year.
So last week, a dad and his son came by to see me. They're from West Jordan, and the son's name was Phoenix, and he is 6 or 7. This cute little kid. They came into the office, and the dad said, "Phoenix really wanted to meet you, Senator." I said, "Great." We met, we talked. The dad said he had terrific emotional problems through 4 and 5. And he said, we finally figured out that he ought to be a boy. And once we started treating him that way, this adorable boy, he became an honor roll student. He's adjusted. His life has become terrific. Here's another little boy from Ogden. Is that adorable?
Cute outfit, too. Besides him being,
Yeah. And
cute
this
little boy.
is...
That's definitely a cute little boy.
Can we see that or not, Nick? You can see that? His name is Caden. There are hundreds and hundreds of trans kids in Utah. And, Gayle, they have a hard life. A lot of their parents, how many parents know how to deal with a child that's trans? It's very difficult on the parents, on the family. And can you imagine life when you're Caden? My question is, would it be a victory for you if you were able to force Caden to have to go to a girls' room or boys' room where he obviously didn't fit?
See, I don't think any child should have to go into a bathroom or take a shower where they're not comfortable. That's why it's so important that they have in the schools the choice of a private bathroom and a private shower. Then there are children who, girls who don't want to take a shower with another girl. Now, I realize boys don't usually feel that way, but girls do. Girls have special issues and problems where they'd rather be in a private bathroom. They should have that option.
So every school ought to have a private bathroom that anybody can use.
Absolutely, and that's what I've said. I'm not for forcing children to have to go into a bathroom ever and be uncomfortable.
You understand the problem from a mother point of view, how this would just be a terrible situation for a 6 or a 7 or an 8-year-old.
I think those are the personal things that the family needs to deal with and decide the best way for their family. I personally believe that children often go back and forth and change their ideas about things. Teenage boys, going, 12, 13-year-old boys, especially just trying to deal with the girl thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just don't want to deal with the girl thing. That's what families are for. But when it comes to using the bathrooms, they should not be forced to use the bathroom they don't want to use. But they should not also, because when you're talking about little Caden here, and he's younger, but as they get older especially, the girls that are in a bathroom or taking a shower, and a boy comes in, that maybe is a boy who feels like he's a girl, but he still has the boy parts, and he shouldn't be in there showering. Those girls should have the same choice he has, and that choice is to be in that bathroom privately. So that's why he has a private bathroom to go to.
So, moving on, I have been together with Stephen for more than 30 years. And frankly, I'm looking for somebody younger, but that aside.
Stephen, I hope you're listening.
He's in India. He can't take the session. And I just found out, I thought he was going to Indiana. It turns out he's in India because that was a picture of the Taj Mahal. And I'm pretty sure that's not in Indianapolis, right? So he leaves right before the session, and he comes back right after, and he says, "Are you out of your mind? I am not going to put up with this. You're grouchy, you're mean, you're miserable. Why would I come for that? For 20 minutes a day?" So he's gone to India.
He is smart.
He's smart. So we were married in an astonishing moment in Utah history where a window was opened up by Judge Shelby, and Gayle, it was remarkable. It was like the rapture kind of. People ran because we thought maybe the door was going to be closed right away. So it started out with 4 or 5 couples, and then 10, and then 20. Pretty soon, hundreds of people with their children were showing up at the Salt Lake County Clerk's office. They came dressed in UPS uniforms and nursing uniforms. They came from all around the state. They were rushing in, and I don't know, only gay guys could do this, but some of them ended up in complete matching tuxedos, like, they'd been waiting. It was one of the most joyous moments I can ever remember in my life, because there was no time for family. So we all became the family, and there would be a cluster of people that would be married, and everybody would applaud, and we would go to the next one. 700 people that had been waiting were married. Tell me why that isn't a joyous, wonderful thing, and would it be better for you if I was not married? I was single.
Well, it goes back to the definition of marriage, and that's just that is an area where we'll never agree on. And I believe that marriage, as the definition has always been, between a man and a woman, because every child deserves a mother and a father. And I believe that is what marriage is all about. And I've always believed that. I don't think I'm going to change.
Would it be better for you if I was single and not married?
Not,
or would it be better for society if I wasn't married?
It's not about me.
All right.
It's about society. It's about the culture. Culture is important. We have always had community standards, and those are things. And the definition of marriage from the beginning of time.
Well, it changes a lot. I mean, there's times when polygamy was good, and there was times when this has been an evolving thing for over 1,000. Exposed.
Good thing you drank all your water before that happened.
You covered up so well. Yeah. Sandwiches are good too, right? Can we take some comments? Did you want to finish up on that, or?
Well, I was just saying that I believe for the culture of our society, for the community standards, for children, that
it would be better if I was single, and the thousands of Utah gay couples that are married and raising children. It would be better for our culture if they were not married.
It would be better for children, I think, to have a mother and a father. It's just that children do better if they have, because they do have a mother and a father. Biologically, they have a mother and a father.
But you know what? We found this fabulous study. There's only been one really serious study about over long term, over who makes better parents, single sex or mixed sex couples. It's out of Australia. Thousands of people were involved. And it turns out same-sex couples actually do a better job by verifiable measures at raising kids. But I want to point out, Gayle, give me your hand.
See,
I'm not against allowing straight people to get married, even though they do a worse job of raising children. I firmly stand for the right of straight couples to have children. So
you're wrong. Study wrong, because there's other studies. It's always interesting. We always have our studies. Each of us have our studies. And so, as I said, we will never agree on this, because I believe that all children should be in a marriage with a mother and a father.
Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the comments, okay? Is this an alternative universe? We love each other. No. This is Nancy for a transgendered veteran. We met at the VA Center. Hi. Amy Combs says, wow. Chuck White says, you're both standing your grounds. I'm proud of you both. I'm not going to say what Lynn Dugan says, even though you're wrong on pretty much everything, Tobacco. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
Would you send me that text, please, with her contact information?
Tobacco's waiting for your head to explode. Is she pushing the Arizona agenda?
What is the Arizona agenda?
I don't know. Bring back Evan Meekum, I suppose.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You would have to bring him back from the dead, wouldn't we?
Say we'll have to ask the Lord first.
There's a place for both. It's important to build bridges and have conversations with people you don't agree with. Thank you for challenging him, Gayle. Yeah, I get that a lot. Wow, this is amazing. Joel Ostrom. I'm not saying what you said, Joel.
Dear.
Thank you for having this conversation with a well-known conservative. This is from an openly transgendered mother. Anyway, I'm just looking for questions. Let her have it, Jim. Ah, there is no definition of marriage, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we'll go back to these, but let's get back. Okay, we totally, passionately, unequivocally agree on one subject this legislative session, and we might well lose.
No, we're going to win.
Tell everybody, this is really the most horrendous idea I have ever heard that I've heard in a long, long time. Basically, the legislature wants to call a constitutional convention, part of a lot of legislatures that would call back to Philadelphia to have a great constitutional convention like in 1778, where we would take the Constitution, shred it, and start all over again.
That's just about it. They want to take the Constitution and amend it, which is, you're up here, you know how laws are passed. When you amend, you create new laws. If you amend the Constitution, you can, in fact, if you do multiple amendments, you can rewrite the Constitution. It calls for multiple amendments. It has 3 categories, and out of those 3 categories, there's just not a limit as to how many amendments you could get from that on both sides. Like I tell my friends, one of the things I could see happening would be, marriage equality.
Imagine that it would be in the Constitution. Can you imagine?
But then you could see just the opposite happen. They could get up there and put in the Constitution that marriage is between a man and a woman. It's whatever they want to pass. So they can have both. That's why we can be together on this one, because there are certain things we don't want to risk.
We're afraid of, and I keep thinking, okay, we had Washington, we had Hamilton, we had Jefferson, and replacing them would be DeBacchus and Ken Ivory and Mike Noel. I mean, can you imagine anything more horrendous? I mean, and it wouldn't just be Utahns, it would be across the country. So in California, they'd be going after that Second Amendment and getting rid of guns and say what a dumb idea that is. We would go through and the Pandora's box would be open.
Well, and then because there's no limit, if you guys say you vote to call a convention and you put one single issue, even though I don't agree on doing that because you don't know what else could happen, but at least they're making the effort to say, okay, we want to pass, like you have done up here, balanced budget amendment. And it's listed exactly what should be in there. They tell the delegates how to vote. Did you know you passed a law that said that you have to tell the delegates how to vote? And if they don't, they go the way you say, and I'm saying the legislature, that they get charged with a felony. So how in the world are they going to do this with all these multiple?
Okay, but that's an interesting legal question that I can talk to, but I'm not a lawyer. So hold on, I need a little fake water. We're in here, Nick. So they say only 1 or 2 items will be on this, but now they're in Philadelphia.
No, they don't say 1 or 2 items. They admit they've already voted on 6 items they want on there.
Okay, so
multiples.
Okay, so let's say that there's a legislative limitation, but once a constitutional convention sits, they decide what their agenda is going to be. You cannot constrain a constitutional convention by definition. So, and who would stop them? Would they go to the Supreme Court? No, because the Constitutional Convention could do away with the Supreme Court. I mean, this is such a rat hole that it's a catastrophe waiting to happen. And it passed, what, a House committee? Where are we on this?
It's in committee in the Senate to possibly tomorrow.
It passed the floor of the House?
Overwhelmingly.
We got to stop this.
Yeah, we do. And fortunately, over here in the Senate, there's a lot of senators who are opposed to this. They understand. They're looking at it closely, and they also understand that this particular call would allow for unlimited number of amendments, and it couldn't be controlled.
Okay, Utah legislature, look at me. Look at me, senators. I might be on that constitutional convention agenda. I could be deciding the Constitution. You get that? Me, Jim DeBacchus. Not only would I have gay marriage, I'd do away with all guns, I would do things you would hate, and I'd have a lot of allies around the country. Is that what you want? It's not just Ken Ivory who's going to be doing this convention.
Well, it probably won't be Ken Ivory because it's probably going to take. But they've been working on this now for 4 years. They have 8 states, so that's they're getting 2 a year average. So even if they got up to 3, they'd be another 7 to 10 years before they get everybody. All you guys will be gone. So it's not going to be you, and it's not going to be Ken. It's
What do you mean gone? We're not that old.
Well, 10 years from now, you may not still want to be a senator. You might be tired of this by now.
Or more likely, the voters are going to be tired.
Well, you might turn into Orrin Hatch and be here 30 years.
Oh, 30. I think it's like 50. How long has he been here? Do you have a dog in the fight for Hatch or Huntsman, or who else is thinking about jumping in there?
I don't know. I'm going to go out and find somebody.
Yeah, really? You're not going to vote for Hatch?
No.
I mean, you'd vote for him against
Huntsman.
a Democrat, but
Yeah.
You're not happy with him.
Well, he's been there long enough, but I don't want Huntsman, so maybe I'll have to vote for him.
What's wrong with Huntsman?
Well, if you remember when he was governor, you should love him because remember, since he left here as governor, he came out in favor of gay marriage.
Yes.
And so there were a lot of things. I thought he would go to the Democratic Party, and I would have encouraged that and be friends with him. But if he's going, if he has the same agenda you have, he should be in the same party with you.
He's co-chair of the elect Mike Lee. Huntsman is everywhere. Ambition will lead him.
Well, because Mike Lee was his friend. Because remember, Mike Lee was his attorney when he was the governor.
Can I tell you what we're doing?
What?
Starting tonight. I keep forgetting. Tonight at 9 o'clock. We're going Facebook Live for 24 straight hours. I'm going to be up and I'm going to be talking into the camera for 24 hours straight. We're meeting in the Rotunda, then we're going to the Ballet West practice, then we're heading off to Denny's, then we're going to the dorms at the U, we're going to a third shift at a factory, we're headed to Kennecott to see how they make copper, then we're heading out to everywhere. We're doing it 24 straight hours to remind the legislature what it's really like in the real world for real working people all over. We're going to be talking to everybody. We'll be knocking. I know where Gayle lives, in Alpine. We'll be knocking on her door probably between 3 and 4 a.m. It's really going to be fun. So please tune in, Gayle.
You're going to do this live all night long?
I'm doing it live, and then tomorrow, so we'll be all night long, and then at 8 o'clock is my first legislative hearing. So then the whole day in the legislature, we're going to be live, every meeting, every talk in the corridor, every lobbyist twisting my arm, everywhere for the whole day, and then up to a party, and then we're going to have a final party between 8:15 and 9 o'clock where everybody can come and have pizza and no alcoholic beverages will be allowed, in deference to Gayle.
I appreciate that. And you're going to stay awake all that time?
We'll see. I've got drugs. I've got friends. We're
Yeah.
going to try, like Diet Coke supplied. We're going to be doing things.
Yeah.
Diet Coke, such a good place. I don't go anywhere without it.
that unnameable drink here in Utah?
It's a gateway drink, though. That's the problem.
It is.
You start with Diet Coke, coffee. How much further could it be?
Might as well.
Gayle, can we turn the camera around on your army here?
Oh, yeah.
And then talk about them? All
Yes,
right.
yes.
So there is a whole section of the cafeteria that is devoted to these great kids who come up every day. They got their own copy machine. They've got Mountain Dew, which you guys should too young to be drinking. It can stilt your growth. And there is this army.
You notice we have one down there saying they shouldn't be drinking that Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay. There we go.
He's telling them.
Anyway, we're getting that. Gayle, I love your verve. We have so much to learn on the left about your commitment and about your showing up and about your grinding through everything. Thank you for coming and being on today.
Well, happy to do it. I would think back and years ago when you were on K-Talk Radio.
We were children back then.
Yeah, and I was on K-Talk Radio and you were on K-Talk
Yep.
Radio, and here we are today.
That's right.
I'm still on K-Talk Radio.
Thanks, Gayle.
Okay.
This is Gayle Ruzicka. Remember, join me. Don't leave me alone. Think about how embarrassing it's going to be. Like if there's only one person watching.
Hey, would you guys please not show up?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Gayle. All right. We'll see you later.
Okay.